Hello, Facebook. Let's give some people a chance to join. How's everyone doing today? We are coming to you live from Rythmia Life Advancement Center here in beautiful Guanacaste, Costa Rica, where it is sunny again. I believe that the rain has passed, and what a beautiful week it has been. So, yeah. How are you guys feeling?
Oh my God.
Good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Shut it.
We'll just let a few more people hop on. So happy to be back with you guys again. What another week full of miracles. It just keeps happening. Good evening, Rick. If you guys are joining us, please say where you're joining from. Say hello, introduce yourself. If you've been to Rythmia before, then you know all about this. Hi, Tati. So happy to see you on here. So I am Lindsay, and I am happy to be here with you guys on Facebook Live today. Again, we're coming to you from Rythmia Life Advancement Center here in Guanacaste, Costa Rica, and another beautiful sunny day has been blessed upon us, and I have the privilege of sitting here with some of this week's amazing guests, and I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. So you are?
I'm Azam, I'm just so grateful and so privileged and feel just so honored to be here because you guys have had just such a deep, tremendous impact on our lives. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to Rythmia. Yeah.
And I'm Ramsha from Toronto, Canada. And it's such a privilege to connect with you guys. And it's just been the most amazing week here. Oh my God, wow, I'm speechless. I'm totally speechless.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay, so I just want to start out by asking you guys, how did you originally hear about Rythmia?
Wow, it's a very interesting story. I mean, the whole reality of the idea of plant medicine kind of came into our worlds when we watched, a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And
this was 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
And right after I watched that documentary, I felt a calling in my heart to go and do plant medicine. But at the time, I guess we didn't really listen to our hearts during that time. And, the analytical mind kicks in and it's like, no, you're not ready for this yet. And, all the fears start to surface. So that was that, but I still felt that longing in my heart and that knowing. But then we had kids, we got busy with life, we started building our multi-million-dollar business, and everything seemed amazing on the surface. But after having the kids, something felt missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was this void where it was before that it was almost like we could manifest anything that we wanted, we could create anything we wanted. But suddenly that seeking and that searching for something didn't feel aligned anymore. And so we went on a couple of, we took the kids with us.
So it's a 41-day Europe trip.
A 41-day Europe trip.
Took 2 nannies, traveling nannies.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And we went to go see Abraham Hicks first on a cruise, and then we And then Dr. Joe Dispenza's.
We met both of them, and then on the Joe Dispenza cruise, we met Nadia and Olivia. And we just hit it off.
It was like a magnetic connection. We lost track of time. We just kept talking to them the whole night.
And they kept talking to us. It was 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then on the 5th, so they were done. They oh my God, we've been talking for 4 hours. We have to go do whatever. And the hour after that, we booked Rythmia.
Yeah. They told us about Rythmia, and we just, in that moment, we decided to just follow our hearts without thinking of anything.
Yeah.
We were actually supposed to email, or there was the website, but Bassem had this instinct to just call.
Yeah.
And he called and someone picked up, even though it was 11 p.m. in the night or some odd hour of the night, but somebody picked up. We got the last 2 spots and it was just meant to be.
And Daniel was amazing. Like talking to him was just, I mean, we could just feel, just feel it. You know what I mean? When you talk to someone, just feel that.
So you answered the call, and then they answered your call. So.
And apparently we had the last 2 spots.
It was perfect.
Yeah, it was meant to be. It really was.
And how long ago was that when you guys booked the trip?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yes, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We're so glad to have you guys.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
What a week, right?
It's crazy because, you know, we were really like, I mean, our logical brain would told us to not even do this. We had just moved into a new house. Like, in fact, our boxes were there. We hadn't even
with no furniture. We hadn't even unpacked.
So we were 1 week out in Oakville, Ontario, where we live, and it's like, oh my God, like so much contrast. Like, just updates.
We just went to Europe for 41 days, and now we're coming back and we're leaving again.
To Costa Rica, to separate ourselves from our children. It's like, oh my God.
But it's all perfect,
Yeah.
as you guys have seen this week, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And the ironic thing was, like, after booking our trip and everything, I just was drawn back to see that documentary that I watched 4 years ago. So we were watching it, and guess who appears in the documentary?
Who's that?
Jerry.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. It was, and we didn't notice it the first time we watched it.
Yeah.
It's like Rythmia wasn't even in our reality because maybe it just our blinders were not but that was there as confirmation and as evidence that we were there all along.
Yeah.
That was what was
it was
crazy.
guiding us the whole time.
The whole time was guiding us, and then hearing Jerry again, whoa. That's
and then you
crazy.
got to meet him this week.
Yeah. So he's amazing.
He's a beautiful soul,
You know.
just pure love.
So what? Yeah, and you guys had to go to his opening talk, and
Yeah, his opening talk was amazing. It just made me laugh and laugh and laugh and cry as well because his story was very touching to my heart.
And he made, you know, like the men in the room, you know, and I can certainly speak for myself, feel safe and comfortable because, you know, men are wild, like men are crazy, you know? And I think that like to hear someone else who's like been crazy and like in the depths of it, like, you know, that really spoke to my soul, not even just in that room, but even during like when we were participating, because it was like that, like him sharing his vulnerabilities made me feel safe to just shed like at the deepest level, you know, that I think was huge, you know, and profound for our relationship because now it's just like, because, you know, I had the guts to go deep with my intention work, you know, and that was really important.
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So what day did you guys get here? Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
So you got Saturday, you got to check in.
Yeah.
So in the last 2 weeks, from the time that you booked the trip until the time that you get here, did you notice some synchronicities already start to fall into place?
Oh yes,
So
yeah.
much. So
Like
much.
right away. Everything that you feel emotionally is an indicator of what's to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even just arriving here, you just felt it. Like it was just a feeling. And not only that, like everything that, you know, was at this place, it just sort of aligned. It just like everything, the synchronicities of running into people. And even just during the days, it was just like, okay, there's something interesting about this. Like, you know, I met this person and I feel like there's some connection with this person, but I don't know why, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then you later find out as you're doing the medicine work, it's like, wait a second, like this person had something, like something that, you know, we share and it was soulful. And that helped me become a better person for her. And then, you know, she was finding people that were now like energetically moving her to the right places too. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's so true. I mean, like, you feel as if you've known these people for a very long time, even though you just meet them. It's almost like it's like a knowing of your, like you can see your future self, and you know that you're gonna have that realization that they're all playing a role in your journey.
They become an instant soul family.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 it's I mean, speaking about that, like it's just crazy. Like, you know, seeing people that are just, you know, it's like you don't know why, like, you know, like we've had like weird like connections. It's like, oh yeah, like you can't really explain it, like whether there were past life type relationships or whether there was any synchronicity from like, let's say, somewhere else, but it's like you just know, it's just a knowing, so you just stay with that, and it just helps,
Yeah.
And isn't it, not to fast forward too much, but isn't it beautiful to see not only the change in each other, but in all of the brothers and sisters in your soul family from the time that you met them on Saturday and Sunday until now?
Yeah.
Isn't it incredible?
Yesterday, I just was like laughing thinking about that because
Yeah.
I'm like, everyone showed up so differently. Oh my gosh, it's profound the changes everyone went through.
You don't know anything when you after you get through it. It's like, you think you know the concept of family, you think you know these concepts that were deeply ingrained in us, and it's like you just didn't even know whether you were happy, and I realized, even though I had this positive mindset, it was hiding a lot of depression, and I even learned that I had suicidal tendencies, and I didn't even know it, right? And that's really eye-opening, because that's something very needed, and that's what saves lives, right? Like, and to be around, such beautiful, amazing people that make you feel safe about that. I mean, it was just, I never felt more vulnerable, but more relieved too, and to know that even though I'm going through that, my wife's going through the exact same thing. And to know I don't need explanations, like for men feel the need to prove themselves or feel the need to always have to just prove themselves, right? The fact that this was so beautiful and that I didn't have to do that kind of work, like it's like, okay, I worked on myself and now I need to, no, that's not there, it's gone.
Yeah, you get to stay in your authentic truth because you shed so many layers this week, and coming to a state of unconditional gratitude for yourself and for everyone that's here. It's just so beautiful. So you got here on Saturday, and then you guys, the first ceremony you went to was actually breath work.
Yeah, breath work was amazing. I remember like laying down and doing the breath, and already I was feeling so much, like my whole body kind of like went numb with all sorts of different emotions that I was feeling. It was like joy, but then it turned into like anger, and then it turned into like sadness, and it was just this roller coaster of emotions that I was feeling so intensely. Like I've never felt any emotions like that before, with so much intensity. And it was amazing. The healers in there were just, they were angels, like being guided, because when you really needed them the most, they just came without you, like obviously you couldn't communicate that you need them to come, but they just came. It was almost like something else was guiding them.
So did the breath work help you prepare for the ceremony, the plant ceremonies?
Yes, it definitely did. I have to admit, I was still very, very nervous even after the breath work. Like I honestly had my fight or flight kick in right away,
which is normal.
Yeah.
It was a profound. It was crazy. Like the breath work, just like at first you're like because we brought our meditation ego to the course, and we're like, oh, we meditate an hour a day. What we're doing and everything. And my God, the breath work. So what happened with me on the second day? The first day was really important for my healing, and beautiful souls helped me just heal the tension on my brain, and because I think I was an overthinker, and just in different areas, it was just wonderful. But then the second day, started doing it, and I just completely knocked out into another reality, another world. And what happened was, I jolted up. I don't know if you guys were there, but it's like, and I just basically, I saw Chris with the microphone, and everyone was like, I'm like, what just happened? Like, what was that? Like, I'd never experienced that. Did like, what just happened? And I literally, because I was in such an erratic state, somehow the mic ended up in my hand, and I was like, what is that? What was that? Like, what was that? And, and Chris, obviously I threw him off. I don't know. but I felt it, and I think that was a release. That was a huge release. The autonomic nervous system definitely kicked in, and there was something wild that happen. So the thing about the breath work is it really kind of like knowing, because we kind of like because of our like understanding, like the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in and sympathetic nervous system breaks down your body. So you want to just be able to, release that. This definitely.
And the second day of breathwork was very different for me from the first. So if the first day I experienced all this roller coasters of emotions, and the second day I just, oh my gosh, it was almost like I was high on joy. I was laughing and I couldn't control it. It was just like so much joy on the second day.
I love that. That's so beautiful. Yeah, so the transformational breath, you're getting so much oxygen in, and we really don't breathe that deep on it. I mean, if we're walking around breathing like that every day, wow, right?
Yeah.
And taking some time, doing the 100 breaths, and just every day maybe adding that to your meditation practice at home.
Yeah.
Switching it up a little bit. So
bringing it over here like that.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Absolutely. So, and then, okay, so Saturday, Sunday, breath work, and then Monday, started the day with yoga, and then some breakfast, and then you started with the classes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the yoga was huge because it got the body moving and everything. And, like Ramsh and I, we're huge gym goers as well, but it was really nice to shed the ego that you can create in the gym too, because, the thing about that is like, especially for, men, they tend to do a lot of like, strength and lift and things like that. And I realized like, my God, I made myself very tense. Not that working out is amazing, but doing it for the right reasons. And I learned a lot about that, and shedding that was really important as well, because it's like the tension, you can then like, once you start doing all this kind of work, you can start to feel it. Like, it's like, oh, you're tense in places. This is preventing you from getting to places. So,
Yeah, so with the yoga, it's like we can be strong and like move and everything, and then we go into the softening the body, the calmness, and back to the breath. And it's a beautiful thing to as well to take home and mix in with the gym some days and some days yoga, and keep up the meditation practice as always, right?
Sure. And all in all, it's really good for just instilling that routine, because the first I think 3 days are really critical for doing that. Just building those habits, making it in the classes.
Getting more in tune with your body, getting more in tune with your mind. It's really helpful.
The classes were just such great food for the soul, because they just instilled everything that you needed to hear, and keep that positive approach towards things. So that really helped. That really helped us get there.
Yeah.
And they prepared you to, be aware of all the miracles that were to come this week.
I know, and I'm sure they dealt with a lot of resistance, because honestly, everyone was probably just trying to work up the courage to even understand what they were doing.
Well, getting here was the first step, and you guys did that. So so the classes, and then you had plant integration to prepare you for Monday night ceremony. And so do you want to talk about like the high points, the miracles that happened on Monday?
Yeah, actually Monday was very surprising for me, because like everything that I expected, it was the exact opposite of what I experienced. And I love the intent that we set for that day, show me who I have become. So I just went in with that intent, and I was still a little bit nervous, so I just, before like taking the plant medicine, I just asked Mother Ayahuasca to be gentle. But then I took it, and it was amazing how like she was so. I felt it like, it's hard to describe, but I felt like it's almost like a serpent. Moving up all the way in my body, and I just let go and I surrendered. And she showed me who I've become. And it was like, I'm sad, I'm miserable, and I fake it. She showed me that I faked the joy. And I was like feeling all these emotions, and I was in complete shock, because I have this beautiful life with 2 beautiful children, a successful business, a loving husband, everything. What do you mean I'm sad and miserable? And I felt it, so it was true. And it was just, it was a realization that that's all those external things that I have in life mean nothing.
Beautiful. Wow, what a good night, right?
Yeah, it's
Just to start it
amazing.
off.
Yeah.
Day one also started with the same intent, but it's kind of crazy because it showed me who I've become in a very different way. Because I think I just got some emotions out, but then what ended up happening was I started feeling quite powerful. Like I started feeling like, whoa, I can walk around, I can start journaling. Oh, I'm gonna go to the hammock. Oh, look at this. I got this stuff figured all out, and I'm like thinking to myself, yeah, and and I'll talk more about day two when we come to that. But that was just literally just the beginning, because it's like now it literally showed me who I've become. Because even though I was experiencing all this coolness, because when you're in that state, you feel, you feel like you're floating. You feel like you can do some pretty incredible things, But the thing is, though, there was this void that I felt like, and I hadn't really explored it or anything, or I didn't even know about it. And so I'll talk about it for the day too. But I started, experiencing all that, and I thought I had experienced everything in just that first day. I'm like, oh, I got this figured all out. Now I'm like, gonna see some more geometry, this and that, But
So did your day two pick right up with day one, or were you expecting something different?
you can start, and we were very, so you can start
I did
first,
expect it to pick up where it left off, which is why I was so scared. But it was completely different than from what I imagined. And after experiencing the first night, I mean, it was difficult, but I was able to breathe through it thanks to the breath classes. I was able to just surrender and just lay there and just breathe into any emotions that I was feeling. But on the second day, it was like, oh my gosh, I felt so confused and I felt so scared, because I'm like, I'm not going to the second day ceremony. And I was like literally looking out the window in our bedroom, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was looking at the fence and I'm like, can I climb over that? And I was just like,
she actually legit made the decision to not go. She even told me, I'm not going.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, like I am gonna go. But then of course I'm like trying to seek her out, but I'm like, no, I can't. And then by fate she ended up at the plant integration class.
And then I spoke to someone, and it's like amazing how the staff here is so in tune with everything that you're going through and feeling. So one of the things that she told me was that I am here for me. And I don't know why, that just resonated with me. And I'm like, why does this resonate so much? And I'm like, is there anything, I know I'm here for a reason. And I know what I experienced last night was an indicator of what is actually real. And I really want to feel that real part of me, real authentic part of me. But I'm just so scared of experiencing it. So is there anything that you would recommend? And she told me to just, lay there and do 5 minutes of breath work. And so basically what I did was I prayed to Buddha, and then I prayed to Jesus, and then I went back to the room. And basically I just lay there doing the breath work. I played some music in the background, and I was doing the breath work. And after the breath work, I felt much more at ease. But then I felt this need to just get my journal, and I kept writing, I am here for me, I am here for me, I am here for me, I am here for me. It was like something else took over, and I just kept writing that. And so then we went into the ceremony, and then I surrendered again. And basically then all of a sudden I was laying there, and the intent for that night was to merge me back with my soul. And merge me back up with my soul at all costs. And that was the part that was scaring me so much, because it was almost like, at all costs, what does that entail, And also I was going through all of this, like, other people were experiencing so much pain. I was just able to breathe through it, but everyone else was, purging, or everyone else, I could feel their pain and everything. And that's what was actually scaring me. So that I am here for me part was very important because it helped me just shut off everything that was going on around me in that second night. And then all of a sudden, I felt like it's almost like the plant medicine was telling me that it's everyone has such a different experience. Like it's easy for some people, it's difficult for some people because it's the experiences that they're meant to go through.
And it's all healing.
Exactly.
No matter what someone is
Yes.
going through, to
Yeah.
have the perspective of whatever their healing is coming out,
Yeah,
and they're letting go of it.
exactly.
So speaking of letting go, like, you know, with day one, I said I was journaling a lot. I was feeling her, what she was going through and what she was shedding. And I felt the need, because I, you know, we've done a lot of like different sorts of spiritual work, and it was learned that I definitely have this rescuer archetype where I'm just like, you know, always trying to be there for Ramsha. So I started journaling, thinking I could save her through journaling. Like, Ramsha, I'm here for you. Like, and it's like, you know, and the thing about ayahuasca is like, it will support, obviously, because you feel that way. It's like, oh, and I'm like, wow, this is working. And I know she could hear me, and I knew it was, but although it was like the wrong, there's no right or wrong, but you know, like I was definitely not going within for myself. So obviously there was some challenge surrendering because I had such a strong, you know, and although my ego was like, oh, I'm doing this all right. I'm discovering new things.
Yeah.
I'm pioneer in this, you know, like I just got this in my head, and it's just, oh my God, you know, and to support that, it's like I'm feeling it, and it's just like, okay, great. And that was where with day two, my God, like, you know, the word, like, in the sense that, you know, like that was like, you know, seeing what I've become, but I never felt more deep pain, and, you know, just the illusions that I had created, the walls that I had built, and how they had impacted our relationship. Never felt that, because it's like, you know, and it was constant shedding. I mean, I felt it in a way that I never felt before. It was kind of like, you know, I mean, it just sounds crazy. I mean, can I share a little bit? Sorry,
Sure.
Yeah, but it was like, you know, it was like I felt the same kind of bloodshed that like Jesus felt, you know, and it was a really weird feeling, and it was almost like it's just opening, because I wanted to just heal the heart. That was really it for the second, and it just kept just opening and then started hyperventilating and just started, you know, like just, you know, like just having these panic attacks almost, but they helped, you know, because they were such locked emotions that were linked to just me finding, you know, all this, you know, all my, like the insecurities that I had as a child, because growing up, you know, we went through like the Gulf War in Kuwait. So, you know, my mom had to take me and my brother, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and flee, like, and leave my dad there while there was like all this stuff going on. And so right after that happened, I had to leave my toys and things like that. And I felt sick, like, you know, apparently I had like jaundice at the time and things like that. And that was all locked up, you know, and on top of that, like my mom was feeling all those things, like, you know, like we just started a new life. We have 2 kids, and I don't even know if my husband's alive or whatever, right? Like, you know, she felt all those things, and I felt her pain and suffering, you know, on that day. And that was also explaining to me how that was impacting me, and how I was, you know, responding to Ramsha with little nuances, and how we communicate and how we operate together, you know, and that was and because of that, it was just a lot of shedding, a lot of release of pain, a lot of deaths. I mean, just so many deaths, but it was so liberating. And then, you know, the day after, I couldn't stop. I was just tearing all day. Like my eyes just never stopped pouring. And that was the release of a lot of emotions. So,
Purging through tears.
yeah.
So, I mean, did you have any idea that you were still carrying all those emotions around with you?
No, I didn't know I was suicidal. I had no idea. Like, I had this to remind me, but like, you know, I just didn't even know. Like, even though like I built up this exterior through being a business couple and everything, and I just thought I had it all together with the positive mindset. The truth is that I had locked up those emotions so much that, you know, the warrior within me just sort of kind of just built all these layers, and I'm like, I could take a bruise, my body can take a bang, like I don't care, like whatever, right? Like I had that in me, and she knows that really well, because and I defined that as being masculine. So it's like getting rid of that was so hard and but extremely liberating as well. You know, I discovered a lot of things about myself, and just the very things that had like, you know, that were just in there, and you're just opening, you know, and it's crazy.
Wow, what a week of transformation. And that was just part of it, part of the miracles, part of the story.
It's part of it.
Wow.
And everyone's experience is so different. Like with that day too, my experience was completely different from his. Like, because we've been so connected for so long, I could feel what he was going through. But I was told, like, my journey that night was to disconnect from anything he was feeling and go into my own self. And for me, it was the opposite. It was almost like I kept questioning, like, okay, why am I not feeling any pain? Can I take on some of his pain? Can I take on someone else's pain? Like, I wanna help these people. But it was almost like my journey was, no, do not focus on anyone around you and just go within. And so I went within, and I came to the realization why things were like easy for me, because it's almost like everything that I had been through in my life is supposed to be very hard. You have to work hard for happiness. You have to work hard. And I was being taught that no, things are supposed to be easy. And through that, I found so much self-worth that night. And all of a sudden, the thing that I was fearing, merging back with my soul at all costs, it happened so magically. Like I felt as if all the fears were removed, and it's like my soul, I felt like it was an electrifying experience. It entered back into my body through my hands. And I know because all I saw was little me at 2 years old. And I just felt so much joy. I couldn't stop hugging myself. I was like dancing, and I just couldn't let go of myself because I was like, you're here. Where have you been this whole time? Yeah. And then I remember like Jerry saying that, you know, now that once your soul is back, there's two things you have to remember. You make a promise to your soul, and then you let it make the decisions for you. So and then in the middle of it all, I was like, wait, what's the promise? And then it was like automatic. I am here for me. I am here in this world for me. That's why I was writing that, and it was like I time traveled back to like that experience of me writing, I am here for me, I am here for me. And it just all made sense.
So you're already talking to your child, like 2-year-old self, and you didn't even know it.
Yeah, exactly.
How beautiful is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Wow.
While that was happening, I was experiencing the traumas of when I was a child and feeling the victimhood, like just being a victim, like, and everyone, like, you know, the funny thing about the ayahuasca is that it actually is very, because you're now requiring empathy, you know, in those moments, it's like, it's trying to be like, oh, you know, you're okay, like, you know, you're fine. And those were the same feelings I felt as a child. It's like, why did I go through so much when I was so young? Why did I feel this way? Why did it happen to me? You know, and that was like projecting that over and over, but it was necessary in order for me to just, you know, feel and release all of that. So.
Feel to heal.
Feel to heal.
And reveal.
And reveal. Feel, heal, and reveal. That's wonderful.
Christian always says that. So
That's wonderful.
I like that one. Amazing. And so after the 3 ayahuasca ceremonies, and then there's the yahe. How was the yahe night for you guys?
Well, I mean, the interesting thing is that, if you don't mind me also mentioning on the 3rd day, like the divine feminine was really like, you know, huge. I mean, there was the initial, like, you know, coming to terms with, you know, with my parents and what they went through, and connecting with my parents and releasing that, and even releasing to the fire, you know, that was extremely important, because that just sort of and then, you know, have my relationship with my mom, and then, but in order for me to get there, I had to feel, you know, what women went through. You know, women went through, and it was really essential as a man, because, you know, it was kind of like, you know, feminine energy has this kind of like, oh, you know, on the surface, it's like, oh, you know, so cute and that kind of thing, and we're all just like, oh, okay, it's gonna be that. No, it was not that. You felt, you know, the victimhood, the abuse, the suffering, because it was a collective consciousness, and I genuinely felt that, and I felt feeling like I was equally responsible for that, because there's the oneness, and as men, you know, men infiltrated that, you know, and really, you know, it happened. All of it just happened in history. But then feeling that and overcoming that helped understand how women found their freedom. You know, I mean, we look at, you know, women's, like, and sexuality is a bad thing, but that was actually an escape for women. That's what I learned, because, you know, how else are they going to find freedom within their minds to be able to freely express themselves and everything? So it turned out that, you know, understanding that unlocked something, and then the mood just shifted. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it was amazing. At the beginning of I was like so excited for Divine Feminine Night, because I'm like, oh, I've been feeling this
night.
Yeah. And wow, you know, like, it's already been so, I've been feeling the feminine in me, like, even on the past two ceremonies. So this one is just going to be amazing. It's going to be magical. And then basically, and I built all this, like, trust with the plant medicine. I'm like, oh my gosh, Mother, I really, really trust you. You're so amazing. You understand me better than I understand myself. And on the third night, I was so excited. I took the ayahuasca and came back to my mattress. I was so excited. I'm like waiting. I'm like, oh, she's coming. I'm gonna experience the most magical experience ever. And then all of a sudden, I feel as if I'm being, like, strangled. Like, that was the emotion. And I think that was the emotion of the suppression that women went through for so many years. Yeah, and it was my most challenging night, but it also turned into my most beautiful night, because at the beginning I'm just like, okay, just give it love, you know. I surrendered to the feeling, and I just kept giving it love, because I remember that quote by Martin Luther King Jr., which is like, you know, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that, and hatred cannot drive out hatred, only love can do that. So I just kept giving it love, and then all of a sudden it was gone. And what emerged was more love than I have ever known, ever imagined, ever experienced in my whole life. And I'm a mother of two children, so I know what love is, but then it was this realization that I had no idea what love was. And it was just so beautiful. I remember, like, just walking out and looking at the stars, and it was almost as if I was walking the ground for the very first time. Like, I felt the grass on my feet, I looked up at the stars, and I saw and I felt everything. I connected with, like, all these goddesses, and I felt like I saw everything. I felt like I just experienced everything there is, like, infinite love in the universe. Like, and you can see it, and I was seeing it in everything. I was seeing it in the trees, in each and every single tree, in each and every, like, blade of grass, in each and every single star, and each and every one that I was seeing, like, every person that I was seeing. It was just this most beautiful love. Like, and I even told Sarah, the shaman, that night, I was like, I've been drunk on love all night long.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even
Beautiful.
even the synchronicities, because it's funny that, like, you know, when she mentions all of this, I was feeling like the synchronicities of the healing of my body was happening. I was out, like, literally a lot of, like, that night, you know, a lot of stuff was being replaced. Like, my head was being rewired, literally, like, you know, even my heart just completely rebuilt and everything. And, you know, and once that, as that was happening, there was that moment of that, you know, I felt Ramsha, like, I just felt it. And it was like the perfect time, because I just got up and I saw her right there. And I'm like, I'm gonna walk up to her and I'm dance with her. And that was, and we had this beautiful moment for the first time, because a lot of the first few days you're separated for a good reason, for very good reason.
Because you're here for yourself.
You're here for yourselves, and you know, I mean, if I was closer, I'd be like, baby, I'm here for you. No, get away, shamans, I got this. But you know, like energetically, just knew, and I was like, and we had the most amazing dance ever. And the funny thing is that the energy was so bizarre, because it was like all the women and the men were cheering you, even though they were there for themselves. You just felt this vibe. It was a celebration, but it also, as much as it felt collective, it also felt unique and individual to you. You can't describe it. It's just so beautiful. Right? And you know, because it was feminine night, women were expressing themselves femininely when dancing, but the men were enjoying their true honoring the masculine nature with the stomping on the ground and how much
there was just so much appreciation the men had for the women. Like, it was amazing.
It was raw. Like, it was totally raw. Like, you know, you can't, you know, that's why that sheds that whole, the concepts and the layers we create on the descriptions of the polarity of masculinity and feminine. It was like you just felt it now. It's like you felt it, and then you know how to balance it within.
Exactly. It brings a beautiful balance between the feminine and masculine, because we all have both, right?
Exactly.
So the music on the Divine Feminine Night, all the live music going around, and you guys mentioned the dancing, and just the celebration that comes with that is just something to experience. And I'm so glad that you guys had clearly the most magical night, and the miracles just kept coming.
It just
over
kept coming,
over.
just coming. And even just the way that night, like the music came
Oh
through,
my gosh,
it was like I just wanted to sing. I just wanted to, you know, like I never felt like I've never, like, it's so bizarre. It's just so passionate. And the fact that you're just hearing like all this amazing music. Beatles, and like we love the Beatles, like you know, like the song like Let It Be, like it's our favorite song. We would listen. Rush and I would listen to that together or individually, like, you know, hundreds and gazillions of times. So for that to show up, I mean, it was just like, oh my God,
Let it be,
right? Fourth night, that was something else, because I felt like, you know, a lot of the deep work and the purging started to come, because I felt the need to cleanse as much as possible. So for me, like, there was a lot of cleansing going on, and a lot of just purging, cleansing, you know, because and of course, at the back of the mind, you have a marriage too, you know, coming up the next day, which you were helping us with.
So these guys decided to have a spiritual marriage here on Thursday night. And what a beautiful ceremony it was, with Mitra connecting you guys and blessing you guys as a couple. Wow.
No, it's just like, it was something else, right? Like, I mean, it's just like, because we went through, you know, like, I mean, like, you know, we eloped together, and, you know, we decided that, you know what, like, no one's going to stop us from getting married initially, and we did everything we could. Both, you know, like religiously, like even though we're not like super religious, we just did all honor, like, you know, our religion, and just basically like, you know what, like, we're gonna do this. And, you know, from that though, like, it was crazy, because, you know, like we were talking about renewing our vows, right? In Europe, we're like, oh, we're gonna do it, so maybe we can do it in Bali or somewhere.
So right after we had our babies, I really wanted to renew our vows, because the way our initial wedding was, it was almost like we followed like our Pakistani cultural paradigms of what a marriage entails, what a wedding entails, and it didn't feel right, and I really wanted to renew our vows, but I didn't know how we were going to do it. And right on our way here, when we were traveling here, when we were in the van, one of the staff members handed us like the list of the things that we can do at Rythmia. And one of them was shamanic wedding. And I looked at that and I'm like, oh my God, baby, we have to do this. Like, it was just a knowing in my heart that, okay, we have to do this.
And I have like Ramsh and I have this sort of relationship where I know her divine power. Like I know and I get it, and I don't question it. Although I might have my blocks, I don't question it. And I'm like, yeah, I set it up, and literally, it was actually the first thing we did before we came here. It was like, no, we need to get that set up. And the funny thing is, the staff were so thrown off because like, really, you sure? It's
like, oh, do you want to wait until like a couple of ceremonies? And we're just like, no, let's arrange everything.
Because we just, and that, I think instilling that confidence in us really helped us. I think it was a lot.
Yeah.
And it made me feel very safe because it's like no matter what we go through, she's there for me, and vice versa. It was really important,
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. Seriously, to see you guys get to do that in front of all of the people here this week. How special. Something you guys will never forget.
Yeah.
Nadia and
It
Olivia,
really is.
like we asked, it was funny, but we just felt compelled. I asked Olivia to be my best man. She wanted Nadia to
Be my maid of
maid
honor.
So they got to walk you guys down
they
the
were
aisle.
so like, they wanted that. They were like, and Nadia actually said that's been my dream. Just like, okay, sister, fine.
Yeah. I love them too. They're such a beautiful part of this family here. So how are you guys feeling now after it's all wrapped up and you're leaving today?
We feel so much more just renewed because the blessings that the shaman gave us. I mean, it's funny because it's in another language. You don't understand it, but you feel it. The concept's just it's the most craziest thing because we had our hand like tied like this, and it was like tied like that, and it's like he was integrating all sorts of just wisdom, like loyalty, all these things. They were going in, and it's like, oh my God, I feel that. Like it's just I feel that penetrating through my bones and creating new awarenesses, believe it or not, and as that started to happen, it's like, oh my God, and what a wonderful thing that everyone was there, that we felt was like a family, like we just literally felt like, the family feel like of everyone being there and watching and just being there with us and embracing us. Like it just was like, words can't even describe that, to feel that kind of love from people, just that unconditional love, we just felt that towards us. No, like nothing like that was any negative at all. It's all love. It was all love because in that dimension, there's only love. She felt nothing but love from others, and that was, I think, that was a big part of the marriage. That was such a big part because,
for sure, I guess my most profound lesson through all of this that I'm taking home is, before when we used to meditate, it was all guided meditations that would just teach you to just feel joy, feel gratitude, and none of the negative stuff. And I had a vision on the last night where everything, all spectrum of emotions just appeared as these different shades of colors. And it was this realization that we don't have to be happy all the time. We don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, be happy, and block what's really going on. We're allowed to feel every feeling. It's like different colors, you feel all these different colors, and you can sit with the feelings, and you can take what you want to take from them, and the other parts you can just feel them and say, okay, well, I want to let go of this part. And it's like it's the satisfaction. Satisfaction, I believe, is really the highest vibration. Being satisfied internally within, with anything and everything that you're feeling, with anything and everything you're seeing, because it's all within that external world that we give so much meaning to, means absolutely nothing. And once you come to that realization, you can just shine your light on everything and everyone.
And so no more holding back. Allowing things to be expressed and to let it go. And so that way you can come back to that true love.
Exactly.
It's crazy, like the breath work right after, we had the spray, the homeopathic version of the ayahuasca, and then we did. It was the most ridiculous meditation type breath work we've ever done, because it was like, oh my God, it's still within us, it's there, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So to know that it was always within us was just the biggest value. And this is something that we, like I haven't shared. We ended up having the 5th day of the ceremony in our dreams together.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's wild, but what happened was we found each other in our dreams, and because we were sleeping very close, and it was interesting because it like what I felt was like it's kind of like the beginning of something also new, even though like you might feel like this is now like, but there's a commencement there, and it's like now it's like
it was like a depth of who we were when we came here. Oh my gosh, it seems like we spent ages here, even though it was like just a week. It feels like it's been like centuries, but it was like it was the depth of who we were when we stepped in here, and the rebirth of who we are. And of course, like when you're surrendering any part of you, and we're surrendering so much of us because like we were completely different people when we stepped in, it comes with that feeling of death. And it was very difficult because we both felt it at the exact same time, and that's why we both woke up at the same time. And it was just like our 5th night of the ceremony. It was like the conclusion.
Well, what was interesting was that when when I found you, it literally was that feeling that we were on those mattresses. Like the same feeling when you were on the mattresses. It was that feeling. So it didn't feel like you were on your bed in the room. It felt like we were on the mattresses, and I felt the need to hold and touch Ramsha, because I'm like, oh, you're on your bed, are you okay? That kind of thing. So it's like that theme that I was talking about in like day 2, this coming to surface again. And Ramsha, you can share how you felt in that moment.
In that moment, I was experiencing that like death, and right away he touched me, like he just touched my back, and I felt like as if I was back in the ceremony, and it was a shaman like just healing, and I just felt so much healing energy. And then I just woke up, and I'm like, I really needed that, and we both just were like, wow, what did we just experience? It's okay, we don't have to like make sense of it, just experience
that
it.
was total, that was something that had to surface. It just had to, and I'm so grateful for that, because that was so important, because again, you don't know what you don't know. Right? And
you can't see until you see.
Exactly.
And then you can't unsee it.
Yes, exactly.
And you guys will stay connected and just keep up the meditation and the breath work and the yoga and the journaling.
Yes.
And just stay connected.
And be here. I think being here, because a lot of us are here, and that's why, closer to the middle of the week, you feel everyone gets the same weird headache, and then I think it's just a reminder that, stop starting from here, start from here.
Yeah.
Live from the heart space.
Exactly.
Yes,
See from the heart, speak from the heart. Really come back. They always say that we look outside so often, but they hid what we need most in here because it's the last place we look.
Exactly.
And so being here this week, you guys shed so many layers and also gained so much. And it's just so beautiful to see you guys grow. And it's only been a week.
It's not only been but it's been the most profound week, because we're making we made decisions together while we were on the medicine. Like, for example, we wanted to move to Costa Rica because we fell in love with Costa Rica. We were looking for a second place because we're settled really well in Canada, but we were looking for a second place to just find as a second home.
To spend the winter somewhere.
Well, welcome home.
And our kids, we felt our kids.
We want them to like experience as much nature as possible. So we really want to bring them here.
They want to experience that for themselves, because we felt our kids there, and they're doing work for us as well. And we discovered that it's not about us doing work for them; they're doing work for everyone.
They're the ones. What I realized was they are my greatest teachers, and not just that, but they're so involved in the process. Like, I had a feeling that it was our daughter who sent us here.
Just share what happened. Actually.
Yeah. So basically, when she was born, it was just like the most amazing experience ever. I felt all this like all this divine energy, as if like miracles were happening every day while I was pregnant with her. And even when she was born, we had a home birth and it was beautiful. And like she was born to a song called Compassion. And it was just like all these signs, and she was born on January 11th, 111. And I knew she's like my little angel who always like guides us. And so basically, like I had a feeling this whole time, she sent us here, I know she did. And then when we got married, I was like, oh, what's our new wedding anniversary? And I look, and it's November 1st, 111. And I was like, oh my God. That was, it was just confirmation that she had such a huge role in sending us here.
And our son also knew it too, because you could see it on the look on his face that, you know, okay, good, we're doing things good. Like, because he used to get a little frustrated with us because we were not at the same vibration as him. And now it's like the way he's treating us, it's like, okay, you guys get it now, you know. And that was also incredible. And I've never found more respect for, you know, my own son, you know.
So you get to go back home and see your children. And how amazing is that going to be, getting to share with them? Just they will see the light in you guys and see the difference. You won't even have to say anything. So I know you guys are looking forward to that. So would you send your friends and family here?
Yes. without imposing it on them, I absolutely would. You know, it's crazy. You know, everyone has their experience and has, like, you know, a lot of layers. And, you know, the thing is that any way that we could, we would. That's the thing. If that makes sense, because, you know, hey, you know, if, you know, I wish I could just throw them into the back of a car and tie them up, but that's not really the way to do it. You're just gonna, the truly what I love, the blessings that this whole experience gave us is teaching us how to inspire from here, and being able to speak through and get through from here. So now people can see that you're living by example, and that it's like, okay, I want more of that. So I think naturally, it makes you a pretty good salesperson.
And you'll go home and people start to say, wait, what's different about you? What changed? What did you do?
Because all those things that because thoughts are addictions, right? So it's like you used to evoke that thought out of me. How come you don't do that anymore? You know, it's like, wait, are you taking the high road here? What's going on? You know, like, and those are like, the thing is, it's one thing to do it at like a minute level, but when it happens from like all of it.
So let's see here if anybody's asking any questions. Have you guys thought about what you would say to someone if they're on the fence about coming to Rythmia?
You know, you're hey, you have every reason to feel that way, but at the same time, you got to the decision of even thinking about it for a reason. So you should ask yourself what part of your body you're listening to, whether it's your heart or whether it's your brain at the time, and whether, you know, those doubts are coming from the physical world, or whether you have something from the spiritual world, which there is one. There is a spiritual world, and whether it's coming from that place. So I think that you need to ask yourself, which place are you being connected? Are you here on planet Earth, or are you from, like, you know, feeling it from somewhere else? And there is a divine, you know, and if you're a believer of the divine, then connect with the divine and ask yourself from here, you know, just from here.
And there's all sorts of people here from all walks of life. Clearly you guys are a couple. There's single people here. There's mothers and daughters and fathers with 2 sons. So it's really a place for everyone.
It definitely is.
It really is, and we've seen so much healing happen for so many different relationships, fathers and sons and mothers and daughters. We've seen it all. So this is very universal. You know, people have energetic relationships, not just as couples, and even people, you know, coming here can really also do work within themselves, so they can attract the things that they're looking for as well.
Like the way I feel about it is, you honestly have nothing to lose and everything to gain by coming here. And once you work on that relationship with yourself, I guarantee when you go back, your relationships will change. Everything will just never be the same again.
The universe rewards bravery.
It's true.
Yeah.
First 2 days, you'll know. The first 2 days, you'll know.
Right?
Yeah.
Hi, Christian, Michael, Jerry Powell, Carrie. Hi, guys. Cash is on there. Hi, Cash.
On
Madeline.
earth did Cash get on there?
Cash is always
love
on
you too.
social media. He said, love you guys. Tati, Ria, so many beautiful people joining us.
Wow, just so wonderful to know that there's a lot more of you. I mean, and it's just and I just can't wait for more synchronicities.
Yeah. Anything else you would like to join or say to maybe people that have already been here or people that are on their way here? There's another beautiful group that's showing up today and tomorrow for another amazing week.
Thank you. I mean, actually, thank you.
Yeah.
Because, thank you for being not just a part of it, but adding more to what is happening, because this is a movement. This is a revolution. I mean, there is something happening, and, this is the hotbed.
Yeah, it's a conscious shift for sure. It's amazing. It's profound.
You guys are truly the leaders for that. Like, you guys are truly leaders, and I honor all of you.
Yeah, it's honestly the best thing you have ever done for yourself. The best.
What a beautiful week. What a beautiful story. You guys are beautiful souls. Thank
You're
you
amazing.
so much.
You're amazing.
Yeah, it's actually when all my fears were coming up, you saying you're stronger than you think, you're stronger than you think in the yoga class, that helped so much.
It's all perfect, right?
Yeah. And it's true, you are much, much stronger than you think.
And all of you guys are stronger than you think you are too. So feel free to pick up the phone, call this number up here, look us up on Rythmia's website, check out our Facebook page, all the amazing videos on YouTube. And I just want to extend my gratitude again for you guys sharing your amazing stories. So many miracles, she kept saying today. So many miracles happened all week long. And so I'm just happy to be sitting here with you guys. And I can't wait to see you guys again.
Yeah,
come back again.
We'll be back real soon.
Yes.
Thank you. It's truly an honor and a real privilege to just be here sitting here and just sharing.
Thank you guys for coming to Rythmia. Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. So, and if you guys are on your way, safe travels. We'll see you soon. And if not, we'll see you when you decide to come. We'll be waiting for you. So may you all have a blessed day. And we'll be back here live Facebook next Saturday at the same time, so 2 p.m. So you guys have a wonderful weekend.